like to call to order the meeting of the City of Natchitoches Planning and Zoning Department. Full audio of the Planning and Zoning Commission meetings are available at www.cityofnatchitochesla.gov. The next City Council meeting is February the 13th. The second, right here, we have no applications for rezoning, so that's not particularly relevant. We have reverse subdivisions tonight, so any party that's aggrieved by any of these applications, whether they're approved or disapproved, must file for an appeal within 10 days of tonight's decision with the mayor and the city council. That will be docketed within 45 days. I would ask any of the attendees to sign in. People, please have the speakers identify themselves from the AMBO and to speak clearly. Our next meeting is Tuesday, March the 7th. I'm not going to go into any great details since it doesn't appear we have a big crowd here tonight in our procedure. Any other comments I missed?
No, sir.
All right, Roman number 2, roll call.
Michael Lewis,
Here.
Ethel Blake, Ron Brown,
Here.
Anita Du Bois, Charles Whitehead III,
Here.
Walter Johnson,
Here.
Ricky McAllister,
Here.
Bobby Claiborne,
Here.
Isaac Lewis.
All right, by my count, that's a quorum, is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
All right. Roman number 3, approval of the minutes of the January 3, 2023 meeting. The commissioners have been provided copies of the proposed minutes from our meeting last month. If there are no corrections, additions, or deletions, I will entertain a motion to waive their formal reading and accept them as presented.
I so move.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Lewis, second by Mr. Bobby Claiborne. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. I'll sign those at the end of the meeting.
Chairman Whitehead.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd also like to add the minutes from November 1st.
Okay, we didn't do that last time. All right, we'll make an addition to the agenda to, we were also provided copies of the November 1 minutes. I guess we didn't approve those in January. I'm sure it's just an oversight. If there were no corrections, additions, or deletions for the minutes from November 1, 2022, I would entertain a motion to waive their formal readings and accept them as presented.
I so move.
Motion by Claiborne.
Second.
Second by Johnson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. All right. I'll sign those at the conclusion of the meeting.
Okay.
Roman number 4, old business. We have no old business. Is that correct, Madam Director?
That's correct.
Roman number 5, new business, subsection A, action application by Lighthouse Real Estate LLC to subdivide the following: the east half of lots 4 and 11, Block A of Natchitoches South Subdivision, and lots 5 and 12 of Block A of the Natchitoches South Subdivision to create multifamily housing units bearing a municipal address yet to be determined on Highway 3110, Exhibit number 1, Councilperson District number 2. In effect, this is taking half of 2 lots and 2 whole lots and making them one giant lot, if I read the application correct. Is that correct, Mr.?
That's correct.
No. Do we have anybody here appear today on behalf of Lighthouse? All right. Ma'am, and you're here from the newspaper?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to take a break and have a call these folks, or how do you want to proceed?
Well, I was emailed this afternoon asking if we were having a meeting tonight. I emailed them back. That was around maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Let them know that yes, indeed, we did have a meeting tonight. As a matter of fact, this application was on our agenda for last month, where we actually did the rezone of this property. So they understood that the reverse subdivision was
I think
supposed
I
to take
remember
place.
telling that guy he had to come back.
They actually were before city council for introduction, and I think it's gonna be for approval of the rezone on the 13th.
What about Pastor Clemens? Have you heard from him as well, or?
I did speak with her.
Okay.
That's been over a week though since I've spoken with her.
Okay.
But they did know that we did have a meeting for tonight.
All right, well, it's been our policy of this board in the past to not take up applications
Correct.
without having a representative. I mean, let's have some let's have some discussion about that. We've got a public meeting going on right now, nobody's here. I mean, what are
If
your
you like,
thoughts?
I can make we can take a break and I can make another phone call just to see.
Why don't we, from the chairman's perspective, let's just take a 5-minute break, have you make a couple of phone calls so it doesn't put us in a bad way. We'll
Okay.
stand in recess for 5 minutes. Back on the record, this is Roman number 5, subsection A, the application by Lighthouse Real Estate. Madam Director, would you summarize the application?
So, this is actually an extenuation, I guess you can say, a separate application, for Lighthouse. Lighthouse came before us last month in January, asking for a rezone of the same parcel of land to create the multifamily housing. We also realized that there was 2 parcels of land that needed to be re-subdivided or reverse subdivided to make it 1 parcel in order for them to move forward with the creation of the multifamily housing unit.
All right. Sir, would you please state your name and address for the record?
Jim Davlin. My office is 1025 Bayou Bay Court. I'm with Lighthouse Real Estate, and I'm sorry, that's in Frierson.
All right. You heard the summary of your application by the director. Is there anything she omitted or that you need to add?
Nope, she did great.
All right. Any questions for the applicants by commission members? What discussion by commission members? Hearing none, does the commission have a pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Lewis to approve, second by Mr. Claiborne. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. That passes, sir. It'll be final in 11 days, assuming that nobody appeals.
Yes, sir.
And given the fact that nobody was here, I wouldn't think there would be anybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I apologize truly about making you guys, holding you up.
That was
No
me on
problem.
that, Mr.
No
Dillon.
problem.
Hey, is that my plat?
It is. It is. I think I need to sign it, so I'll wait for a minute,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Have we heard from the pastor?
I have not.
What's the commission's pleasure? Do y'all want me to read it? Or do you want to take it up without an applicant here to ask questions? I mean, or we discuss it, we haven't done that. Usually we don't make, well, here comes somebody, so maybe.
You're welcome. I'm sorry about that. I thought I put
She's with him.
Uh-oh. So anyway, we've never taken an application up without having an applicant or somebody as their proxy here. Or do y'all want to read this and call if there's anybody here, and then we can entertain a motion on how to table it or approve it, or?
Well, we might have questions for him.
Okay, well, let me read it, and then we'll put it forward and figure out what we want to do. Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection B, the application by Pastor Stanley Clemens and the Freedom Life Church to subdivide the following: a 15.431 acre tract, tract 3 containing 12.12 acres, and a tract containing 2.89 acres described as a future road located in Section 32, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana, shown on map slide 639A, and lot C 15E containing 0.421 acres being shown on plat at map slide 783A of the records of Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana, bearing municipal address 1530 Kaiser Avenue, exhibit number 2 in the Commissioner's packet, Councilperson District number 2. As with the prior application, this is reuniting a tract that we had subdivided, I don't know, almost 20 years ago, and putting it all back together. Is that right, Madam Director?
Yes, yes, sir.
Further, we have no applicant here, and you during the break had tried to contact them and have received no response.
Correct.
Discussion by commission members of how to proceed from this point.
Mr. Chairman, I think it should be a standing rule that we don't take up an issue unless the applicant is here. Because it may seem innocuous enough that you never know when we're going to make a decision if they're not here, and they're going to come back and say, well, you shouldn't have done it, and this kind of thing.
So is it your recommendation that we table this to the following meeting?
Yes.
Motion by Mr. Brown to table this until the following meeting.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. That's the end of new business. Roman numeral 6, report of office activities. Madam Director.
Well, right now, there isn't any, but I think Ms. Nicole explained to you earlier that we will be moving to a digital format. With that being said, I think we spoke briefly about the code enforcement portion of it. We just got the ordinance approved month before last. Mr. Cole will be our code enforcement officer. However, we will be moving forward with Magistrate 2.
Who will
is the
be?
plan. Ms. Nicole Oakes. Mr. Cole will be our code enforcement officer. As soon as we get everything in place, we do have an ordinance that's been adopted, so if you want a copy of that or want to look through it to see exactly what we can or cannot do, then you have that option. Right now, it's very basic. It's as basic as it can be, because it is just her and myself right now. She's going to be the forefront of it. But if we are granted more officers, then we will expand the program. We're excited about it right now. I think we can do a lot with it. We're proud of our little department. And that's all we have right now.
Well, I assume the goal is like every landlord's goal is to collect 0 late fees. You would
Yes.
like to issue 0 citations, because that means everybody's either paying on time or doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and we want to get it out there that code enforcement is not to be a punishment type deal. We want to use it to encourage our communities to hold Natchitoches to a standard, to make sure that it's not blighted and that we are keeping up with our properties, making sure that they are nice on the eyes and we don't have rubbish and trash everywhere.
All right, Roman number 7,
No,
Reverend
I
Clement.
have a question.
Sure.
I've been asked 400 times, what's going out on the interstate?
Washington Street?
No, the interstate.
Oh, that's urgent care.
That's an urgent care. The whole
Urgent
place is an urgent care.
Wasn't that we did that for the Sidney Evans group in November?
No, that was the other side.
No, there was across the street.
That's across the street.
Yeah,
So
so
that whole place is gonna be an urgent care, basically.
pretty much, that this is right next to the Popeyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
Y'all
cleared
been
their.
asked a bunch what
yeah.
that's gonna be.
They cleared it out, they have a drive that they're curving out, cutting
Okay.
out, yeah.
No,
they're
we do
moving
7.
Roman number 7, Reverend Clayton.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign.
Oh, is it?